There is something almost no one tells you about narcissistic abuse. The damage does not happen where you think it does. It doesn't happen in the arguments, it doesn't happen in the silent treatment, it doesn't even happen in the moments they actually hurt you. The real damage happens in the quiet space inside your own mind, weeks and months and years after the encounter is over. Because a narcissist doesn't just manipulate your reality. They install themselves inside your subconscious, and once they're in there, they keep running, even when the relationship is over.
In this explainer, I'm going to show you exactly how this happens. We'll look at what it does to you if you were raised by a narcissistic family. We'll look at what happens if you're in a relationship with one right now. And then we'll go through real, practical steps you can use this week to begin taking your mind back. This is not theory. This is what to actually do.
Let's start with what gaslighting actually does to a human brain. When a person you trust denies your reality, your amygdala, the brain's fear center, fires immediately. It senses a threat. Not a physical one, a psychological one. It's the threat of losing your grip on what is real. And at the exact same time, your prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of your brain, begins to shut down. Now, this isn't just a metaphor. This is documented in brain imaging research. Your survival brain essentially hijacks resources from your thinking brain. This is exactly why you cannot out-argue a gaslighter. It's why the perfect comeback only arrives at 3 in the morning, hours after the conversation ended. Your brain just wasn't allowed to think clearly. It was too busy trying to survive.
Now, if this happens once, you recover. But if this happens for years, your brain literally rewires itself. Studies show the amygdala becomes enlarged and hypersensitive in people who are exposed to chronic gaslighting. The prefrontal cortex grows weaker. You stop trusting your own perception. You stop trusting your memory. You stop trusting your own mind. This is not weakness. This is neurology. A narcissist didn't just hurt you. They trained your brain to doubt itself.
Part 1. The narcissistic household. The damage runs deeper than you know. You see, if you were raised by a narcissistic parent, as a child, you learn one rule above all others. The parent's reality is the only reality that matters. The child's feelings, they're inconvenient. The child's needs are demanding. The child's accomplishments only matter if the parent gets to take credit. The child learns to scan the parent's mood the absolute second they walk into a room, because their physical and emotional safety completely depends on it. Researchers call this hypervigilance. It's the neurological state of constantly scanning an environment for mood shifts and threats just to maintain safety. It's actually the exact same state observed in soldiers in combat zones. Imagine a child living in that state for 18 years. By the time you reached adulthood, your nervous system had been wired for one job: read other people's emotions and adjust yourself to manage them. This is why you struggle to know what you actually want as an adult. You were never allowed to want anything. You were trained to want whatever kept the peace. This is why you over-apologize, even when you've done nothing wrong. Apologizing was simply the strategy that kept you safe. This is why you feel guilty resting. Rest wasn't allowed. You had to earn your existence by being useful. And it's why you can't trust compliments. Compliments were used to manipulate you, not to celebrate you.
If any of this is hitting a nerve today, please know it is not because you are broken. It is because you survived a childhood that required you to disappear. So here is the practical work for adult children of narcissistic parents. The first practice is a tool I call the body scan check-in. Many times a day, your nervous system goes into automatic scanning mode, looking for the next threat, the next mood shift, the next thing you need to manage. You might not even notice it happening. It just feels like normal anxiety. It's not. It's conditioning. 3 times a day, set a quiet alarm on your phone. When it goes off, just place your hand on your chest. Take one slow breath. And ask yourself one question: whose mood am I tracking right now? If the answer is, no one is even in the room with me, your nervous system is running an old program. The parent is no longer in the house, but your body still thinks they are. Each time you notice this, gently say to yourself, I am safe right now. There is no one here I need to manage. You are slowly teaching your nervous system that the war is over.
The second practice is a bit more emotional. It's called permission language. Each morning, give yourself one small permission your parent never gave you. Out loud. I have permission to feel tired today. I have permission to disappoint someone today. I have permission to take up space today. I have permission to want something just for me today. This is going to feel ridiculous at first. It will feel like you're talking to a child, and well, you are. The child you were, the one who was never allowed these permissions, is still inside you waiting to hear them.
You are reparenting yourself, one sentence at a time. Part 2. Navigating adult relationships. Your nervous system seeking what is familiar. A partner, a friend, a boss, A sibling. Here is what almost no one tells you. If you grew up with a narcissistic parent, your nervous system is actually more likely to attract narcissistic partners as an adult. This is not a flaw in you. This is your nervous system seeking what is familiar. A healthy partner who is calm, consistent, kind, and emotionally stable will actually feel boring to a nervous system that was raised in chaos. The nervous system reads calm as absence of stimulation, and it starts looking for the high-stakes drama it was trained to expect. A narcissistic partner, on the other hand, will feel like home, because they're running the exact emotional pattern your parent ran: the hot and cold, the unpredictability, the intermittent affection followed by withdrawal. Your conscious mind sees the red flags, but your subconscious mind sees a familiar shape, and the subconscious wins. This is why so many smart, incredibly capable people repeatedly choose partners who hurt them. They aren't making bad choices. Their nervous system is choosing what feels like safety to it, even when that safety is destruction. Here is the practical work if you are currently in a relationship with a narcissist, whether that's a partner, a friend, a family member, or coworker. Practice number 1, the reality log. A narcissist will rewrite events in real time. A conversation you remember clearly will be denied tomorrow. Promises will completely vanish. Things they said will be twisted against you. Starting tonight, keep a private journal. Locked, hidden, password protected if it has to be. After every significant interaction, write down 3 things: what was said, what was promised, how you felt during the conversation. Date it. When the gaslighting begins, you don't have to argue. You don't have to convince them. You only have to remind yourself of what is real. Open the journal. Read what you wrote. Your reality is in writing. Their version cannot rewrite ink. This single practice has saved thousands of people from losing themselves. Your brain is being trained to doubt itself. The journal becomes your second brain, the one that cannot touch. Practice number 2, the gray rock method. When a narcissist is escalating, conflict-seeking, or trying to bait you, do not match them. Do not explain. Do not argue. Do not justify. Become as boring as a gray rock. Use short sentences, show no emotion, give them absolutely nothing to grab onto. That's interesting. I see. Maybe. Narcissists feed on your emotional reaction. When you stop providing it, you become a very unsatisfying target. Many will drift to someone else. Some will escalate at first to test you, but if you hold the boundary, the pattern weakens. This is not coldness. This is self-protection. Practice number 3, the exit ladder. If the relationship is genuinely abusive, you cannot heal inside it. You must leave. But leaving a narcissist is dangerous. They will not let you go quietly. You need to build the exit ladder slowly, in private, one rung at a time. First, you'll need a separate bank account they do not know about. You should have a trusted friend who knows the reality of the situation. Keep a copy of your important documents stored somewhere safe. Find a contact at a domestic violence hotline, even if you don't think you need it right now. And finally, create a clear plan for the first 72 hours after you leave.
You do not have to climb the ladder yet. You only have to build it. The day you finally choose to leave, the ladder will be waiting.
Part 3. Silencing their voice. The voice in your head. Long after you've gone no contact, you will still hear them. When you make a decision, a small voice asks, "What would they say?" When you try something new, it whispers, "They'd tell you that's stupid." That is not your voice.
That is what psychologists call introjection. It's the unconscious internalization of another person's beliefs, judgments, and emotional patterns. You didn't choose to take their voice into your head. Your nervous system did it as a survival strategy. If you could predict their criticism, you could try to avoid it. If you could anticipate their cruelty, you could protect yourself. The problem is, once that voice is inside, it keeps running, even when they are gone.
This is the deepest practice. I call it identify, separate, reclaim.
Step 1. Identify. The next time you notice a critical voice in your head, do not argue with it. Just stop and ask one question. Whose voice is this? Wait for it. The answer will come. Sometimes it's a parent, sometimes a partner, sometimes it's a chorus of voices layered on top of each other. Whatever name comes up, that is the program. That voice is not yours. It was installed. You cannot uninstall a program you cannot see. Step 2. Separate. Once you have named the voice, say this to yourself, silently or out loud. That is not my voice. That is theirs. They are not in this room. They are not in this moment. They are not in this decision. Each time you name the voice and label it as theirs, your prefrontal cortex comes back online. The thinking brain wakes up. The fear brain quiets down. You're no longer running their program. You are watching it run. That separation is everything. Step 3. Reclaim. This is where the actual rewiring happens. After you have separated from their voice, ask yourself a completely different question. What would my voice say here? My real voice, the one I had before they got to me. If their voice says, "You are not good enough," your voice might say, "I am still learning." If their voice says, "No one will love you the way I did," your voice might say, "I am building something better." If their voice says, "You are too much," your voice might say, "I am exactly enough." Speak your voice out loud, even when it feels like a lie, especially when it feels like a lie. Because every time you speak it, your brain begins to lay down a brand new neural pathway, slowly, repetition by repetition. You are not affirming. You are rewiring. You are not fighting their voice. You are replacing it.
Part 4. Reclaiming your mind. Choosing your own voice. Because here's what no one warns you about this process. It will take time.
Sometimes years. There will be days you think you're completely over them, and a single comment from a stranger will collapse you back into their voice. There will be moments you reach for the phone, simply because their voice in your head feels more familiar than your own. That is not failure. That is what happens when you have lived in someone else's reality for so long that your own feels foreign. Be patient. Stay with the practice. Identify, separate, reclaim, body scan, permission language, reality log, gray rock, exit ladder. These are tools, real tools. Use the ones you need this week. Because the truth is this, they never really took your mind from you. They just made you forget it was there. And every time you choose your own voice over theirs, you are remembering. The tools are in your hands now. Which voice will you choose to listen to tomorrow?